Alright, guys. How's it going? It's Jake. And this is my cousin, Zach.
Hi.
He's here visiting from Florida, and this is going to be the very first of dual videos where I have with people coming on and actually contributing to conversations rather than just me rambling at a screen. So we're going to be talking a little bit about something that is probably pointlessly controversial. It's about how when somebody is high and somebody who does not get high, the different ways that people respond to that. And I think that Zach is actually pretty good at talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely, I am. So, shall we begin?
Absolutely. There's kind of a negative connotation that goes with people getting high. There's always this stereotype that they're complete idiots, that they're losers, they've never done anything good in their life. And
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that in my own personal experiences, like I've tried to connect with people, even if it's a girl or even if it's just like a regular guy, just like a dude I want to chill with.
Right.
I've noticed that off the get go, they would look at me and they would know. They'd go to my Facebook or see that I'm like at a club or I'm smoking weed or anything like that. Then
Right.
off the get go, it makes me a bad guy.
Right. Yeah, there's this kind of and this is probably directly connected to the way that our society has a very stupidly negative idea of drugs are bad. Okay.
It's America.
And it's really makes no sense. I mean, right now, Zach's high.
I mean, I just know how to control it, I guess. I mean, it's like any substance, like beer. You right now, let's say you were 21, you can go up and buy a whole keg. Now, if you're an alcoholic, you can drink that whole keg tonight
Right.
and overdose and have alcohol poisoning.
Right.
And it's just the same with drugs. If you can use it as a small part of your day,
Right.
or do what you do with it and not overdo it, then you're fine.
Right.
It's just a substance. I mean, if you can control it, then you're fine.
Exactly. It's if you are able to moderate it
Yes.
in a way that is safe for your life, then there's really no problem.
No.
It's
I see, and it depends on like how you use it. Like
right.
I'm not smoking crystal meth.
Right.
I'm not in a meth lab. I'm
Yeah.
not making chemicals.
Right.
I'm taking a plant out of the ground, putting it on a pipe and smoking it. I mean, it's
Right.
really not.
And the strange thing is that society would then view probably one of the coolest people that I know as
Thank you.
this as somebody that does nothing but is just a terrible person for using a substance, and this is then clearly some terrible crime, and they need to be put away for years.
And look at the government right now. Like, what are they doing? We're shipping out what is it, Ritalin to kids, Adderall, which normally taken, but Ritalin's the lower dose.
Right.
Adderall is pretty much legalized cocaine, speed, if you will. It makes your brain speed up.
Right.
You know, you're getting that euphoria that you want to work. That's all drugs do. They alter your mind.
Right.
They make your brain chemical balances change.
Alter the state of mind.
So I could do cocaine, pretty much a lower dose of cocaine, and go to school, and I'm gonna want to work. I'm gonna want to do things.
Right.
So taking that Adderall, I mean, if you have ADHD, it calms you down.
Right.
But still, it makes you motivated. Like you want to do things.
Yes.
And I don't know. It's just I don't like how the government is doing that. But we're gonna moderate this one because back in the day, marijuana was delegalized because it was cheaper than paper, and a man paper company started shit like that. So automatically it's frowned upon, and people don't even look up the facts.
It's very interesting how our society has essentially said that clearly drugs are stupid and damaging to us as a people, and that's just simply not true. What is stupid and damaging to us as a people about drugs is when we make them illegal, because this essentially is we see that prohibition it's failed. It's failed just as alcohol prohibition failed in the 20s, I believe, is when they made alcohol legal, and we saw what happened then. We had the rise of gangsters.
We had people making it in their house.
We had people making it in their house, and then trying to sell it, and that could become very dangerous.
Because they can use, they can make it like moonshine. which
Right.
if you drink enough of that, you're dead.
Right, and it also makes it makes a vast amount of crime because it puts money directly into the cartel's pockets, and that's
And I mean, if we legalize
terrible.
marijuana, we would be able to
Mm.
tax it, also make it better.
Yes.
I mean, if we put
Yes.
it in a lab, we can tweak it.
Mm.
I mean, what I think it was the Florida University. They made a bug. They love bugs.
Mm.
We genetically engineered a fucking insect.
Yep.
We can genetically make the drug not so potent. We can maybe slow down the high a little bit.
Mm.
You can sell it at Walmart.
Yeah.
Tax it.
Yeah.
That's what every drug dealer does not want. But I'm saying, if America had to do it, they could.
Yes.
They could make it legal. I mean, beer. How many deaths are there from alcoholism or getting in a car crash while drinking?
Literally thousands every single year.
Okay, do you know how you have to die by smoking weed? You have to smoke your own body weight in 10 minutes.
Mm.
I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you have the money to do that, even in this economy. I mean, a gram of regs is $5.
Mm.
That's a gram.
Right.
That's nowhere close. So,
but back to the whole thing with society having this negative connotation.
yeah, I kind of went off
It's
a little bit.
a little bit, but I think that it's something that also needs to be talked about. Is that there's really ultimately the negative things that drugs do to us.
Yeah.
Is negative because we put the idea of something being negative onto it because society deems it as being illegal. It's not because drugs are actually a negative thing, but we make it negative by being stupid about it. And
Narrow-minded.
right, if we use it incorrectly, it's going to have very bad effects for us.
Well, you can abuse any substance. I mean, people are abusing painkillers. People are abusing anything. Like air duster nowadays. I've seen that. And people like that are making us look bad. People are taking air duster that's made to clean your keyboard, stuff like that. They're huffing it.
Yeah, WD-40. I've got inside not WD-40, but I've got a can of air right there.
Yeah, people take that in their mouth. They're freezing their lungs because they're taking it too much in.
Right, and
but that makes me look bad.
Right,
Hey, drugs. Well, I know somebody who huffs that, so they must be doing that shit. So
the reason why people turn to doing things like that, for example, I'm sure that we've all heard about the story of the zombies with their
Miami.
They're getting high off of bath salts. The reason they're getting high off of bath salts is because they can't get the other drugs that they need because they've been made illegal. They can't get to these things that they want to take, so they turn to something else to get high, and then they turn to bath salts and turn to fucking zombies. It's kind of a stupid idea that we can fix all the problems that drugs cause by making them illegal.
You know the weird thing about those bath salts and K2?
Mm-hmm.
They're government released test chemicals that you can buy off the internet that are just sprayed over marshmallow leaf. So the government knows that they're giving us these drugs.
Mm.
And they're not going to give us the one that doesn't make us eat people's faces.
Right. It's a very interesting thing. And so I think we really actually do need to now get back to the whole thing where it's the...
So I've when I've come across it, like I said, I've had people judge me like that, but I've also had females judge it to me, saying that if I smoke, I'm automatically bad because they grew up around it and their brothers, let's say, they abused it.
Right.
And that's the thing where it needs to be. People just need to do it correctly.
Right.
And then we won't be judged like that. And we've seen kids that don't understand how to do it correctly go overboard at school.
Yes.
They're doing it in school places. They're doing it in public. Like, that's another thing that's making us look bad.
There was a girl, excuse me, it was either this year or it was last year, who apparently overdosed in school on pills, and she didn't die. She was actually
they pumped her stomach.
Yeah, she made it, and she's apparently she's okay now, but I have no idea if she's still doing anything like that. But they also got the guy that was selling the pills to her, and it's stupid to think that we can simply solve all these problems with illegal.
Yeah,
it's gone now. But
I mean, and it's, I don't know, man. They don't have this shit in other countries. And like Amsterdam, why it's legal there. Why would I frown upon you? It's legal. We've had it legal so long that when you were born into it, it's not bad. It's just there.
Yeah, it's when it comes to drugs in other countries, it's not viewed as, oh, you're this terrible freak. It's more you're just this loser. You can't do anything in life. You're clearly not fit to take a job or anything, and that's just not how it's taken in other.
Or even be someone's friend.
Right. In Europe, it's actually taken as you're a person who's got a habit, and that's all that it is. It's just a particularly bad
people
habit.
think that we're doing it to either escape something, which people do that too, and
yes.
like it's kind of like don't drink when you're sad because you're gonna get more sad.
Yeah, it's an understandable thing to want to take,
and it's just
some kind of escape.
I'm just trying to alter different perceptions. I have done acid, I've done different things, and I just want to see something different for once.
Right.
Life is so scripted; it's always going to be normal. But the human race has now found a way to alter that for a short time. Why not? That's my question.
Right.
But if someone does not want to do it, I do not judge you whatsoever. I think that's you do you. That's your life decision.
Exactly.
If you want to see life through regular eyes always, then
that's your choice. And in the video where I did talk about drugs, I actually completely forgot to mention that Zach is somebody who has done a bunch of different kind of stuff.
I have experimented and did. I haven't done anything too dramatic. Like I've never shot up anything. I've never smoked crack.
Nothing that is
bad. Nothing that's too crazy.
Could be bad, but he has done drugs that are illegal, and I completely misspoke. I completely forgot about it because I hadn't thought about it for a very long time. I did actually get high once when I was 12 or 13 years old. I have asthma, and I have a special inhaler that I use whenever I feel that my asthma is acting up. And I was bored one day, and I was just sitting there on the couch watching TV. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to use my entire inhaler at once just to see what would happen. And I did. And I sat there for about an hour and a half after using all 90 blasts of my inhaler.
90 blasts.
All 90 blasts in about 30 seconds. And I just sat there for about an hour and a half feeling really tingly.
You had a euphoria.
Like, you know how you feel when your leg is asleep? Imagine that, and you can everything looks like pixely in your vision. And I was watching an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was like, "This is scary."
Yeah.
I was like, "This is really scary.
Yeah.
I don't like this episode." And
I've had that experience with shrooms.
It's like people would look at Zach and just be like, "Oh, he's a drug dealing, drug doing prick, and he doesn't belong doing anything in my country. He should be fucking arrested." And people would look at me and say, "Oh, he's a fine, upstanding citizen of this country. He's a great person." And, based only on drugs. And that's, appearance, and then the connotation that goes along with doing drugs. And
sad.
It's really kind of depressing when you think that there's really nothing wrong with it. It's not like people are doing drugs to, I'm going to do all these drugs and I'm going to be an evil person.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that do that, though. And those are the people that make us look bad.
Those are the people that are insane.
Yeah.
They're just looking for an excuse to be bad.
Attention.
Not only looking for attention, but they're also looking for a reason to
something to blame it on.
To blame their bad personality and bad choices on.
And you see those
drugs.
people, they're drunks. They like the drunks, the crackheads.
They're
the reason
people,
why I don't have money is because I do crack. No, you're doing crack to blame that you don't have money, man.
Right.
I mean, the addiction's all in your brain. Like, I smoke cigarettes. I could stop right now. I wouldn't want to. I mean, I'm going to have withdrawals from nicotine, but I don't have to smoke.
Right.
It's all mental.
Right. And it is. For a lot of cases, it is, but to some extent.
And then again, that's probably shouldn't be doing drugs if your mind can't grasp what you're doing. Right. That I'm taking this moment now to do this, and then stop.
Right.
And most people, when they see people that do drugs, they automatically think, "Wow, this guy smokes every day, all the time."
Yeah.
I probably smoke like at the end of the day after work. You know, hey man, I just did my job, so I'm gonna come home, let loose.
Yeah, it's there's a reason why it's called recreational drugs.
And I have to say this, marijuana, they say it's a gateway drug.
That's
my joke is it's a gateway to my refrigerator.
Exactly.
I go in, I smoke a blunt, and I eat some food, and that was it. I tried everything else on my own time, knowing what I wanted to do. They say it's a gateway drug because you do it and then you want to do more, but I mean, that's just curiosity.
It's the reason why marijuana is probably called a gateway drug, and it's actually completely inappropriate to call marijuana because it's not. Marijuana is a type of tobacco that's made in Mexico. It's called cannabis. Or just pot. You know, it's not marijuana, but pot is really.
And really, when they make hemp paper and everything, they're just taking the THC off.
Yeah, and they're using
It's still a plant.
Yeah.
It's still, we actually use it. It's in shampoo. It's in hand sanitizers. They have a whole arsenal of hemp products.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's really nothing wrong with any way that you use it. And
I've had it called unnatural. We talked about that today.
Yes, we actually have been talking about a whole bunch of different things, and we're actually going to be, me and Zach are going to be doing another video probably tomorrow, or, well, depending upon whatever time it is. Yeah. It could be actually later today.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about a lot of things, so we're probably going to be doing another video. But when somebody says something is unnatural, they're not using the term unnatural correctly. Unnatural would be something that we don't actually know exists.
Yeah.
For example, God. But natural is anything that we know in existence. That's what natural is. Everything is natural. Drugs are simply, like pot. It grows on the earth.
I'd say from the layman's point of view, they consider natural like marijuana is the natural one. It grew in the forest. Now,
it grows.
Crack.
Yeah.
No, someone made that.
Yes,
they added some baking soda. They cooked it. That is an unnatural drug.
That's where I say there's a difference between something that grows and something that's man-made.
Yeah.
And there's
most. I'll say most because I have partaken in some man-made drugs and they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
But there are man-made drugs, crystal meth.
Right.
It's kind of sketchy. But I mean, I have a very good friend, and he does meth.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I can get it for him. I said no. I mean, I don't want to go around it, but I'm not going to hate you if you do it.
Right.
He says it makes him feel creative, and he makes a lot of good dubstep when he does it. So you do you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not dying, you're not overdosing, and you're doing it on a contained level, and you're not chopping people up, or selling, all your shit for it, then you do you, man. And especially, I feel bad for him because he probably gets judged worse than me.
Yes,
because he does meth. He'll openly tell you, he's like, I do meth, whatever. And I'm like, I mean, I don't judge, but I know other people must.
Right. It's a very when somebody says, "Oh, I smoke pot," well, that naturally, even though it does have a negative connotation with just being a douchebag, it really isn't true. But when somebody says I do meth, or
you automatically think crazy.
Yeah,
you automatically from the get go think whoa,
because you think there's something wrong.
And most people are not even around it. I mean, I'm around it. I go out to Orlando. I go to clubs. I go to people's houses, and they're doing it. And if you're around it, and you know people that are calm and chill, that actually have like the state of mind like I do, then it's really just like, I'm going to go grab a beer out of the fridge.
Yeah.
I'm partaking in drinking alcohol. Well, I'm partaking in smoking a cannabis.
Yeah, it's there's really nothing wrong with it. Sure, there's health effects, but if you, for example, if you didn't smoke pot,
If most smoking cigarettes is way worse than smoking pot.
Exactly.
If you smoked a blunt a day and you smoked it out of like a bong, or even if you smoke it out of a blunt, it's still tobacco leaf.
yeah,
But if you smoked it just like let's say a water bong, you used it and you're just pulling the air and everything like that. You're really not doing anything too bad. You're not fucking up your lungs. It's still smoke. Smoke is
Right.
obviously not bad, but there's no tar. I mean, there's still tar, but less tar
but
than a
it's
cigarette.
it's not the same cancer-causing carcinogens as cigarettes, and that's really the only danger. Oh, and running out of snacks.
Yeah.
That's also a
good one.
it's also a very very
Make
big
sure you
problem.
have plenty of snacks,
Right.
plenty of agua, the
And
seed
there's-
of life.
Yeah, right. There's nothing wrong with it. It's hilarious how I have a good friend, and this is probably the only thing that I've ever talked to him about where I think that he's completely wrong. He and I had the first hour together, and we just talked for most of the hour because it was a blow off class, and he was like, I think drugs are absolutely stupid, and I don't like people who use them, and it's like.
How could you judge a book like a cover like that? Didn't your mama teach you any better?
It's one of those things where it's like, if that's really what you think, then clearly you're a little bit brainwashed. The same way that just about.
I mean, in all
every
these
American
above
is.
the influence commercials, I understand that,
Mhm.
Stay true. That's what illustrated kids say. They want to stay true to what they do.
Yeah.
Well, you stay true to you, man. I have a lot of straight edge friends. They don't want to do drugs at all, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool that you sticking up for it, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But I mean, don't try to peg me down a notch because I do
Right.
it. That's
right. Granted, there's going to be differences of opinion, and there's going to be differences of whether somebody actually wants to do it or not.
and I love to hear your opinion. I want to see why
Absolutely.
you don't want to. And if you
Mhm.
say, maybe it's because hey, I have asthma, I can't smoke. Well, then
Yeah.
don't. That
Right.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an understandable
I mean,
reason.
I'd probably tell you to use a vaporizer, so you're not smoking. You're using
Right,
water
so
vapor,
that's your
I mean, don't judge it until you try it,
yes.
but don't try crack and don't try that.
Yeah.
This is
There's-
my
yeah,
little
there's-
thing.
There's it's. I still
I don't
think
do
that-
needles, dude.
I still think that they should be legal. That I really think it would be a stupid idea to do them.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're a stupid person, but I think that it's really it can be very bad for you. And that's the thing is that
I definitely think if it's legalized, that we should tone it down. We should definitely tap into the chemical structure and. Not
I think
down.
that I think that the thing is that when drugs become legalized, which they will, I know for sure that they will. I kind of had this hope. I jumped on the very optimistic bandwagon when President Obama said that he came out in support of gay marriage. I was like, well, great. He's done. He came out in support of gay marriage. He came out and got the Latino vote last Friday, and maybe he's going to try to get the young demographic by legalizing pot. And I was like, man, if he did that, that would change America.
It would, and from my perspective, I used to sell pot. Now, yay, Obama, you legalized it. Now I can't get pulled over, but now you've destroyed my business. All the drug dealers will be fucked.
Yes.
Because now, why would I go to you, dude, if I can go to Walmart and pick up my own weed?
Yeah, if I
It's
could
probably
go-
going to be better weed, or with our United States government, they're going to test it, and they're going to put other things other than THC in it. And then we will uproar and make our own shit anyway. I mean, I hope that if they do, they'll let us grow our own plants and let us be the scientists for once.
Well, I think that they're going to probably they would have the FDA regulate it.
I mean, I know some states have decriminalized it, where if you're allowed to have like a couple grams.
Yeah, you're allowed to
And in
have
Cali, if you got under like an ounce in your house or something, I don't know the exact fact, but I know if they have it, they'll take it. But I'm not going to court. I'm not going to get anything. But
Yeah.
you're allowed to have it.
Yeah.
And if you have your medicinal marijuana license, you can grow up to so many plants.
Yeah.
And you can get your green card. So they say, haha, after 6 months of
Well-
living in California or any state that has it.
I do believe that usually if they have it, it's usually around like a few grams that you're allowed to actually keep it with you, and they won't take it away.
Yeah, because it's just for personal use. I mean, you can
Right.
get in trouble for intent to sell having more than
Yeah.
a pound.
Yeah.
You don't need that much, man. I mean, I understand the business. It's a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
but you're just trying to make your little dollar. But
Right. And that's the thing is that I've never because I've never gotten into the culture because I've never smoked pot. I've never done acid. I've never done anything that's really considered illegal. I just did an entire inhaler once.
boys will be boys.
Exactly. And that's this thing. That's the really interesting thing. There are two very interesting things that I think. The majority of Americans have at some point tried some kind of drug or gotten high to some extent.
Beer is a drug. Nicotine is a drug.
Exactly, and so is caffeine. There
You
are
know, the
few-
FDA says that we go marijuana, caffeine.
Mm.
Caffeine is worse for you. It's addicting. It's
There are a few hundred deaths every year in America due to caffeine withdrawals.
Yeah, Google how many deaths there are because of marijuana overdose.
Yeah.
Marijuana use it. I mean,
Well,
and then again, where marijuana has went wrong
Mm.
is people getting high,
and then driving.
really high, and then be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go drive to get some food." No, man, get the
Yes,
food beforehand.
that's-
Think. Don't make
that's-
us look bad. Think.
Exactly. That's the thing is that there are always going to be people who stupidly decide I'm going to drink at least 3 kegs tonight, and now I'm going to go driving. This is a great plan.
Yeah, I've seen some people who think they're hard. I mean, I definitely, anytime I throw at a party, anytime I go to a party, I usually either have my key bowl or tell the guy to make a key bowl.
Mm.
Just everybody put the keys in and
Mhm.
have the DD, give the keys to the DD because
Right.
after 2 beers, fuck it, I'm not driving. I'm staying at your house, dog.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I guess I'm gonna sleep on your couch until I sober up, eat some bread.
Yeah.
Because if I'm drinking 2 beers, I'm probably gonna drink like 10.
Yeah.
So,
But that's the thing is that.
but if we all thought ahead, I'm gonna bring somebody who doesn't like to drink beer.
Yeah.
I want to do something else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get high. That'll last you 30, 45 minutes to an
Yeah.
hour. So
Yeah.
when you're sobered up, I'm drunk. Take me home.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't really see. I've never really experienced any real like drug usage. I've never really gotten into. I've never been to a party. I've never gotten drunk before. I did have a.
Well, promise me if you ever try it that, let me be there so I can be like,
Most-
whoa, you probably shouldn't do this
Yeah,
much.
most definitely.
And,
right.
and that was another thing I was going to bring up. Another way that people are making us look bad is
Mm.
the drug dealers, the unprofessional drug dealers, the people who don't know what they're doing, that
Yes.
sell someone, like let's say you said, this is totally hypothetical and would
Mm.
never happen, but let's say
Right.
Jake, you came to me and said, Zach, I would like to try crack. And I
Right.
said,
Mm.
okay, I know nothing about crack though.
Mm.
So I'm just like, yo man, here you go, good price, take it. You smoke it all. I didn't
Right.
tell you how to smoke it. I didn't tell you
Yeah.
what to do. You overdosed because I didn't know the strength of my own stuff. Maybe I
Mhm.
got really good shit and didn't know it.
Yeah.
So maybe if the drug dealer was smart enough, said, "Hey, this is very strong.
Mm.
You should probably smoke it, like this,
Yeah.
and only smoke this much with this time period."
Yeah.
Then people wouldn't overdose.
Yes. There's.
It's just unprofessionalism.
It's a very interesting thing because I've never experienced. I don't know anything about the drug trade, but I can assume that it's just like any other business.
It's all just
and it's all right, and it's all
It's-
it's all simply controlled in a different fashion. Instead of it being controlled by legitimate business organizations, it's controlled by
Dummies.
cartels and complete idiots.
I mean, any cocaine that you're getting, if it's real cocaine, there's probably blood on it. I mean, not physically
Yeah.
blood, but someone
But
died.
there's-
It went up
yeah.
someone's ass. It was fucking.
Yeah,
It's bad.
it's there's it's
Most of the time when you get pot, where did it come from? Probably someone's backyard.
yeah,
Probably someone's field.
frozen basement. It's
I mean, you never know. Grow
There's-
house. It's
yeah,
whatever.
that's just how it must work, and I don't think that it makes sense because we can look back to prohibition in history, and the perfect example is when they tried to make alcohol illegal. All it did was make an incredible amount of gangsters rise up, like Al Capone. I mean, I really don't think that there's anything else that needs to be said. You
Yeah.
look at him, and it's like he got unbelievably rich over selling illegal booze, and it's like you're letting people in other countries get unbelievably rich off of things that, in reality, don't cause that much harm. for reasons that make no sense.
This will be good for our Utopia video.
This will be very good, which is the next video that he and I are going to be making together. But we'll talk about that whenever the next day happens to be.
Sorry about the audio, by the way.
Yeah, if there's anything wrong with the audio, we apologize. This is the very first time we tested it before, and we thought that it was okay. If it's not,
yeah, we're probably talking a little soft, maybe a little loud. It doesn't matter, but
turn up your volume.
Definitely leave a comment. Let us know if the volume's bad. I'm sure we can run the video again through a program and kind of boost it a little bit.
Clear it up. So tell us what you think, guys. This is the very first time I've ever had anybody else guest starring. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of him.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm open to all your opinions. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks.